Guys, welcome back to another part 2 of hopefully not too long of a series on my B723W from Zenith. Now, in this part, I really hope to get towards replacing the capacitors and such. First, we need to get a peek under the chassis. Fortunately, there are some screws behind this this frame over here and this little dial over here that this is mounted on. There are 1, 2, 3 quarter inch like bolts. They can also be unscrewed using a flathead, as you can see there by a slit. Thankfully, here at my college workshop, we have a 1/4 inch wrench that should be able to just get in there and just untighten these. Oh, what the hell? Are these actually? Yeah, there we go. Should be able to do that. And then the ones on the back are more accessible. Well, let me see if I can show. There's a few more. There are 3 on that side. And there's 1 below the slowing rectifier, and that's it. Alright, so I'm going to take those out, and we'll try and flip it over, see how it looks. Alright guys, I have now removed all the screws from the front and back of the chassis that hold the bottom plate on. Which, let me just turn it up here so you can see. Yep, that's a plate right there on the bottom of it. Help prevent noise by putting the chassis around the bottom of the set as well, where all the capacitors and resistors are. In the case of this isn't a cheap set, so that's good. As you can see, I removed all the tubes for safety at the moment, and I also removed the back panel as well by disconnecting the FM antenna and AM antenna connections. You can see right here, right there. There we go. So now I have all the tubes out, so I can move it around all I want and take a better look at all the electronics in here. I'm still a little surprised by how shiny this wheel is. Like, I've never seen one this reflective before. Like, you can see my phone in the mirror along with my hand. Well, it's not a mirror, but you get the point. I haven't seen one that wasn't like a really dull gray. So it's nice to see one that's actually clean and shiny. Like the rest of this chassis too. It just needs like a bit of a dusting. Should be nice and shiny. The capacitor can there too. There are a lot of transformer cans on this, as noted in our previous video. According to the service data, hold on. There are 2 coils in all of these, which is weird because they're for AM and FM, it seems. Well, there's only like 1 opening on the top for a screwdriver to go in. I don't think you can see it too well. Let me see if I can turn the flash. Does that help? Yeah, there we go. You have like a single Allen key here to twist the core around in or out of the transformer. But as far as I'm aware, there is no bottom, at least that I can get to from here. I believe it is on the other side of the transformer, like underneath the chassis itself. So from here we can access the top ones, but we need to get onto the bottom of the chassis to get to the bottom ones. All right, I will say the bottom frame here seems to be a bit under tension. Let me see if we can set the phone down over here. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Set it against a little box so it stays in place, so I have both hands free. Alright. Let's see here. Now, I believe we should just be able to this should just come right off. By all accounts, it should just work. Oh, yeah, no, don't tip over on me. Don't tip over on me. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Look at that. Hold on. Bit awkward handle position, but look at that. Look at all those ceramic capacitors in there, power resistors, coils. Oh yeah, like I said, I think those are the tuning screws for the bottom transformers. And look here. Hold on, I'm going to readjust. This is a really awkward position. Alright, let's try this then. Go on this side, pick him up. There we go. Get a nice full view of that. Volume on and off knob. Then down here we have our band selector. A bunch of these ceramic capacitors in here with all like their numbers plastered onto them. Big coil right there, you can see that one. Great guy. We'll leave that guy for now. Oh, 100K resist. That's an odd looking resistor. Guessing wire wound. Yeah, that's wire wound, I believe. Here's where the selenium rectifier mounts to on that little screw. There's actually, that is dangerously close to that prong over there. Not too close, but still close enough that I would prefer to replace that screw. We can replace this guy later. I have some parts that I acquired that should help me with that. Oh well, let's look at that. We got like this tinfoil coating around this wire. Orange and white. Black guy connects over here. Connects over there. It's probably for a change of the band that it's on, AM or FM. Interesting. Well, what we are really interested in today at the moment, for now, is we want to replace that paper capacitor, 0.047, 200, and that one, 0.047 at 200 volts as well. Now both of these guys are going to ground, so nothing too important should be disturbed by replacing them. Now if I try to, no, this thing doesn't stand on side balanced. It's not good. I'm wondering if we might be able to place something here that could prop it up gently. Or maybe this side. Actually, this side would be a lot easier because we have this wide open face here. So hold on. Let me tip it onto the other side. Tip it onto the other side. No, we can't do that because then that bends the tuner dial. Ooh, great. We can't do that either. That's great. I had to find something that could fit in this area to prop it up gently. Maybe we'll go like that's too bad. That could work. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't fit on the wheel enough. It doesn't fit flat. How the hell are you supposed to service this radio? Like, how is someone like me back in the day supposed to take it apart and put it on a stand? Because I don't have the service brackets. C13 is our... So we have two below chassis. C31, C16. And then above chassis we have C1, 13, and 32 to replace. Okay. Well, next thing to do would then be to take our components and place them together so that they are now the proper ratings. this contraption, which is two 33s and 22 together to create in parallel to create a 88 microfarad capacitor at 160 volts. This is just two 22s together for 44. I'll solder the ends together later. And for the paper capacitors, I soldered and wrapped some film capacitors together. Well, I took two of them, I twisted the middle leads together, soldered them, and then covered them in electrical tape so that only the two outer leads will be exposed, because we don't want the middle soldered lead that, since I connected them in series, to touch anything else. So we have the 0.05s up here, 200 volts, 0.11 microfarads at, it barely shows up on camera, 0.11, 0.11 microfarads at 200 volts for the paper capacitor that's near the tuning air capacitor. And then this guy should be about 0.056 microfarads, but at 400 volts. And that should be good for our purposes, as the saying goes. So, oh, right. I did the soldering off cam because I didn't think you guys would find that interesting, but I made this as our little replacement for the selenium rectifier. If it'll just focus, goddamn. There we go. That's better. So the lead at my index finger right here is the modern positive. Oh my god, just focus on the thing. I swear to god. Is that better? There we go. And it goes up through the 68 ohm resistor, 5%, 5 watts, and then down through this one, which is the output one. Now this guy, I stole this from a radio that I had and took apart. The one that I scrapped that I showed you in the videos, the white bakelite one, version. In my previous visual tube checker video, I went over to my home workshop and showed off a few things, including the little radio, but I took this little terminal strip out of it. It's a bit dirty from trying to remove leads from it, but it's more or less functional. And so that guy, since we have this little hole here, I'm thinking we can take out the screw that holds the selenium rectifier in place and then put this guy in, mount it like that. So that way, as you can see on this lead over here is sort of the input one because it's also connected to the bumblebee capacitor, and this is the output one. So this, I think that's supposed to be green. This green wire-ish, greenish, reddish. I'm somewhat colorblind, but it also doesn't help that the color of the wire itself has degraded over time. But that guy is the sort of like input, and orange over here is the output for DC. And so this guy we can roughly keep in more or less in space. Will that fit? I think it will fit. We'll see. Hopefully enough space. Let's see. Roughly the space between here and there. It'll be a bit tight. If anything, I could probably just bend it. Actually, let me do that real quick. Yeah, since these guys are just on leads, I can probably, come on, hold the camera, hold the phone, just bend it off to the side a little bit. There you go. See? Boom. Now it's easy. Oh my god, just focus. Focus on my hand, you stupid. Oh my fucking god. Excuse my French, but there we go. This guy is more compact now. Yeah, that guy will fit in that space. Yay! Then we still have the two soldering lugs here and there to connect the cables and capacitor to. But unfortunately, I'm out of time tonight because they close at 8:30. I need to get all this shit back together and put tools away. So I'll see you guys in part 3 when I finally get around to putting stuff into the cabinet.